Hi everybody. Now I'd like to start the second part of our work. We've already almost finished the main part of the Rakusu. Now what we're going to deal with is that Rakusu hangs from the neck with these two stripes, with a back part on which you've got this broken needle, which represents our school, Soto school. So we've got to make this and then attach it to the main part of the Rakusu. Okay? So what we're going to do now, we need to have that sort of result. It is one of those stripes. One of those stripes that you see is just here attached to the Rakusu. And there is a second one here which I started to make. In order to make the stripes, there are two procedures. There's one in the book, which you can read on the instructions online, but I like to do it another way. I've been shown another way, which I think is equally good and interesting. In order to do that, you just take the piece of material, which is the sao length, and then you fold it in two, like so. You see, it's folded in two.
Can you show that again, please?
Yeah, it's folded in two.
1 second.
Originally, you've got one piece like that, folded in two, and then you draw a line at 4 centimeters from the edge. You draw a line here at 4 centimeters from the edge. The folded edge, of course, not this one. All along. All along. And then you, here, you put another line like that. And the idea is you do a back stitch, but instead of making a little dot, you make a line. And I'm going to show you how you do it. You stitch all along there, you see, up there, and then all along here, and I'm going to carry on for you. Very simple stitch. Back stitch again. What you do is you go back here, you go forward, so it's not a dot. You pull, and then again into this stitch, forward, and you pull, and you make sure to pull the thread really well so it's tight and really solid. If you do so, you will end up, as I show you later, with something completely sewn, and then you can try to reverse it doing this. Look carefully. Because you've got this sewing there, you can just put that inside, and using a pencil of some sort, you can reverse it, put it inside out, like that.
One more time, please.
Yep. When it's sewn all along, of course not before, you can then put that inside out, and in order to do so, you just have to push this inside, and using a pencil or a ruler, you just then go all along, and it will come out like this. That line that you see in there being there, and then you need to finish that end to make it squarish and beautiful and neat. It is a very simple procedure of sewing, but if you wish what I do next, I finish my line and I reverse it in front of you so you can see how it's done. Alright? So see you in a while. Hi everybody, it's quite hot and it's beautiful summer in Japan. So we're back with our sao. And what I like to show you now is this. So I finished the sewing all all along, as you see. But I left this end open. And I left this end open. I'm going to reverse the fabric using this end, which is closed. And the way I do it is very simple. I manage somehow with my finger to push this inside. And then you could use pen or pencil, or you could also use something else, a bit more squarish. And what you do is this, you just make it go this way. All the way through until, hopefully, if that works, you get to the very end. So sometimes it's a bit of a job to get really to the very end, but generally you get it. That's it. I've got it. And then I put it and reverse it. And now what I have to do in order to get to that sort of flat, squarish result is to iron it, of course, and to organize both ends. Sometimes put it like in with a needle, just making it really nice and squarish, and making sure that the two sao, this one and this one, are exactly the same length, because eventually they will come like this on the rakusu to hang it from the neck. You see? Right. So next bit I am going to iron, and then I will put this piece, back piece, manic piece, that you've got here, and I will put it just on the two sao, and I will show you what to do with it and how to do it. So see you next time. As hot as now. Atsui desu ne. Hi everybody, it's very hot in here. Before I go into the making of the saos, I'd like to talk about mistakes. Because in my experience making sewing kesa, you generally make mistakes, and it's just like life. But with the kesa, it can be extremely infuriating, very, very irritating, because sometimes you just do a sewing and the whole thing has to be undone again, hours of work will be lost, and you really want to throw the whole thing, yourself with it, and you want to swear at everything, and this is absolutely normal. Of course, please don't do it. Just relax, watch it, be with it, and take it as part of the experience, because that is part of the parcel of the experience of sewing. Even now, I mean, these last few days, I made a mistake at one point, and I was not very happy about it. So, really relax, alright? Okay, so what we are going to do now, we're going to look at this part, the top part, which allow the rakusu to literally hang. The first issue is the length of it. This is, as you would see, particularly long, because I'm a big guy, on the verge of being fat sometimes. And I like the rakusu to hang low, not too high. But some rakusu would hang there, or even lower. There are no fixed rules about it. It's about your height, your taste. Don't make it there. It would be like a bib. Hello, hello. Enjoy your meal. Oh, don't make it too low. It's not in order to hide some other parts. Just really plexus area or just the tummy. That's a good way to have it just there. So just try with the length, really. So once you have completed the two sao, you put them together. Make sure they are the same length, of course, because they've got to come just here and be sewn on the rakusu. So one should be longer or the other shorter. And once you're absolutely sure about your length and you've got the length you want, you can just fold it in two and you find the middle and you draw a line, and that's where you put this piece, which is the back piece, or maneki as well. And on the drawing of the book, you've got it. It's about 10 centimeter on 10 centimeter when it's folded, of course. And I show you what it looks like. So actually what you do, exactly the same as with this, without ending the two parts. It's not necessary, but if you want to do it, you may. And then you put it like this, like so. And what I like to do is to put needles to make sure that the fabric doesn't move, things are really in the center, things are really, really properly just adjusted. And then you've got to start to sew the broken needle. The broken needle is a symbol of our school, and it should go right through. Actually, I show you very slowly. This is one sewn, as you see. And if I turn, it goes right through. Okay? And that's supposed to be at the back of your neck. So the best way to do it is, I think, to get hold of the pattern in the book, or just to follow that shape, and to draw it first on the back of the maneki, like that. And there are two options. You may use a thick, very thick cotton thread like this one, doubled, which is used for embroidery. And I use a bit of a color here, but of course it can be white, green, anything you fancy. But traditionally, what is done is just white thread, your thread, but this time double. Double, that is to say, if you look carefully, you've got a double thread with, at the end, a knot. So that makes a thicker thread made of two threads, right? So in which order to proceed and how? That's what I'm going to show you now. First, it's all in the book, so it's going to make sense if you read the instruction and watch this. You go under and you come out at the intersection here, precisely at the intersection of these four lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. You come out, you pull the thread, and you make sure you've got all of it, and vertically you go first there. First one you do is this one, this line. So in order to do so, you just put the needle in, let it go through. There's quite a lot of thickness to go through. Make sure it goes well on the other side, because sometimes it's a bit strange and then you pull it out, making sure it's even and nice, forming a line. You can see that line? Right. At the back, just the same. You don't have the drawing there, but what you could do, and what I often do, this is a trick, I just stretch the thread parallel to the bottom. I try to find out where roughly as I sense it, the intersection could be on the other side, and I have a go, and wrong guess, this is not it. That should be better, almost better, good. I check if this is really in line, seems to be the case. So what do? I go for it, and I pull. Okay, so at that stage, I've got a line at the back, and a line in the front, with my thread coming out here. So now I'm going to do this one here. I'm going to go from there to there. So same, I stretch the thread, but actually I don't need to because I've got a line here, so that's quite easy. I put the needle in vertically, go through, take it out, and there again, as it comes out, I can just check if it's really in line with the rest, like this, like so. If it is so, fair enough. I just have to pull the thing, making sure, of course, that it's really tight and neat and nice. Once I'm sure that there is no funny thing happening there, I can turn and come back here to my original form. And I take my thread out. And again, I check at the back if the line is correct. Okay. Now, third step, I'm going to do this one. There's a line here, if you see. So what do? I just exactly do the same. I go through. Vertically. Comes out on the other side, looks fine to me. I pull, and I come back at the center as usual, making sure I'm ready to make my last move, which is going to be this one. Okay. Sorry. Nice birds and insect in the background, and also a fan. Can you hear it? Good. So, yes, we're right in the middle of the countryside. It's a fabulous place, Very old looking Japanese house. Okay, there we are. Now I'm ready to make this move here. So there again, I check the back, see if it's correct. Look, it's pretty good. So what I do is I put the needle through again. Make sure it comes out the right place, the back, pull, right, and then I can come back at the very center in the front, just here. Always double check the back to make sure that things are running smoothly. And in a very interesting way, you will notice that although you do the first move on what I call the front, the back turns out to be always more beautiful. And this is an observation that I made over the years. That is to say, to overdo something, over-focus, doesn't work. But to actually allow things to do itself does work better. This is my understanding of the phenomenon. Alright? So this is my neurotic side, I want things to get right. So it's a bit crooked. But the other side takes care of itself. Anyway, now I'm going to do this bit, which is again vertical, like this, like so, through. Sorry, the sweat does make the work difficult sometimes, putting the needle with a... so you see, very good thing. You see these needles, they get in the way. Of course they do get in the way, and that's fine. This is sometimes happening. Can take it off. But that's why I think it's nice to actually use thread rather than needle. Anyway, I made my point before. Okay, that's it. Now, I come back at the back, do the same, and it should come back at the front, proper. Okay. And I've got one left. I check the back, quite nice. And this one is this one. Okay, so in order to do it, there's a little bit of a, well, this is part of the playing around, because you've got to go under now, all the way under, and there are many, it's really thick. Got a good needle, and get your needle right, but I mean it, right, and that's why it's tricky, there.
Is the needle going under within the fabric? Not
yeah, within the fabric. It doesn't show on the other side. Otherwise it would be really ugly. Right. Okay, so then you pull the needle. And meanwhile, you notice that I managed to make a little knot to make things a bit more, let's say, pleasant to the eye. Anyway, the back is, as you see, perfect. As usual. Takes care of itself. And what I finish doing now is this. That is to say, I go there vertically, last move, okay. Last move, up. It's nice also in between to stretch the material to see if everything is really tight and nice, okay, tight and nice. And I'm left with here, this bit. And now what am I going to do? I need to make that thread disappear somehow. And that's where it becomes a bit of a craft, because I'm going to have to make the knot disappear under there without going through the whole fabric, of course. So what I'll do is, okay, trust me, I take it out somewhere inside, like that. Okay? I pull, make sure that it looks alright, and sure it does on both sides. Okay? And what I do now is I make a knot going through the fabric lightly, going through the fabric just like that, just a regular knot, and using this
on the inside.
On the inside, of course.
So it's not seen.
It's not seen. And I do 1, 2, I pull, I check that all is well, and all I need to do now, because I don't have my pair of scissors, but trust me, is to cut just at the base of the knot the two little threads, and Bob's your uncle, I've got my thing ready. One more thing to add, really, is that you might wish, as you see on the top, you can see some space and things, you might wish to take some thread of the same color of your maneki and go around here, weaving your way with a needle to make sure that these two parts stick together without offering that kind of view. Alright?
So you would use fabric the same color so you can't see
thread is the same fabric.
Right.
Yeah, or same color. And you would just weave it through inside, and it would just once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then up, not inside, and that's it really. So, what we do next time is we're going to try to kill many birds with one stone, if it's possible.
Buddhists don't kill birds.
Good point. What is it in Japanese?
Huh? Itori nicho.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nitori nicho.
Okay, so what we'll do is we put these 4 and the calligraphy and the one that you would receive from your teacher, and then we try to add those 2 stripes, the sao, to the rakusu to get the finished product. Okay, so let's see each other another time a bit late this afternoon. Okay, bye bye.